Whether your business is still forming inside your head or you've been in business for years, you know you're ready to take things to the next level, and having a strong brand is going to be a key component in making that happen. And so you're wondering how to create your brand. Hi, my name is Tiffany, and I am the author of Socks to Success, where we take a look at how to create your brand, how to have a strong brand, how do we use that brand so it's easier for people to refer you, as well as make those buying decisions, because a strong brand can be so important. It's so important that we're actually going to have several different conversations in today's video in support of how to create a brand. First, the importance of branding your business, how to create a brand, how to build a brand for a small business, how to include your brand image, how much does it cost to create a brand, how to brand your business cheap, and free ways to promote your business. So lots of conversations for us to have when it comes to this idea of branding. If you want to skip ahead to any of those, click in the description below on the timestamp and it will take you right to that chapter. So let's dive in and talk about the importance of branding your business. To me, your brand, the name recognition, is so valuable. There's a reason why there's generic and named brand, because the brand has something that has behind it. There's a little oomph to it. There's a trust that people can have with a good brand. And conversely, if it's a poor brand, people know to stay away. And so I think the value of your brand is just, here's the name behind it, and it's how people see you and whether they trust you or not. Now, I do have a full-length video here on YouTube that dives more into this, but really, to me, the importance of your brand, the value of your brand, is it's more than just you. It's what people think of when they think of you, and it makes them feel safe or wary when going to buy your product. And especially if you don't have a business yet, you may not have a brand, so there is no recognition. And so it's neutral, and it's not that neutral is bad. It's just not inspiring confidence. So we want to have that strong and consistent brand. How to create a brand. One of the first things that you want to do when you're creating a brand is think about, okay, what is my brand? What do I stand for? Inside the Socks to Success book, I actually have a worksheet that I share with people on how to create their brand. And I'll put a link to that in the description below, because I think you want to think about, okay, what is my brand? And too often when I talk to entrepreneurs, they'll share with me, we're professional and we're reliable and we're experts. And I'm like, those are... they're fine. However, I don't think they help you stand out. And if we look at it from a perspective, our goal is we want to stand out in the crowd. Now, not in a bad way, but we do want people to think of us and remember us. And so you want to think about, how are you unique? What makes you different? It could be the colors you use, the fonts that you use, the mascot that you have. It could be some personal things, depending on your business. I certainly get away with the fact that I am my business, and so I'm kind of the spokesperson. I have a thing for socks. Now, you can't see them here because, like, if I was to do this video and I was full and you could see my socks, I'd be like this little teeny tiny everything, and there'd be this huge white space over here. So that's why you get me nice and up close. But when I'm speaking out in public, when you see me, I do have my socks. I am Southern, so you will hear the Southern accent come through. I end my videos now with happy networking, y'all, because I do want to embrace the Southern heritage that I have. I am a huge nerd. And so if you're familiar with Doctor Who, this is actually the TARDIS from Doctor Who. My husband made my closet door into a TARDIS. I know, that's how big of a nerd I am. But anytime I can work Star Wars or Star Trek or Doctor Who into it, I am excited to do it. So it doesn't have to be, crazy over the top. It can be about you. It can be about your company. What are the values that your company believes in? What are the things that you truly like? I mean, if you're all about being green, embrace that and run with it. When you think about how do you create that business image, you want to think, what can set you apart? We don't want the boring that everybody else does. Yeah, you want to be professional and an expert and on time. And you want to take things to the next level and put your spin on it. For me, I like to have fun. What is your spin? Again, I'll put the worksheet in the description below, and it goes through, I think it's a couple pages, and all kinds of questions to begin to think about what could be your brand or what could be your company's brand. How to build a brand for a small business. You first create the brand, okay, what it is that we want to be. And then you want to make sure that you are consistent. If you have a logo, you want one logo, not 17. You want one color scheme, not 13. You want one, like, we want to be consistent. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to have the exact same commercial, the exact same flyers. I mean, you can change it around, but you want it to be consistent. You want people to look at it and be able to feel your brand. I mean, if we look at McDonald's, they have, I mean, it's like what, red and yellow. I mean, their coloring, the arches is always consistent. Now they changed some of the other messaging, but that's there. We want to be consistent with our brand. I think it's going to be really important for us to be able to create it through all of the different ways that we brand our business. And I actually have a list. Here's 113 different ways you brand your business. And so you want to be consistent across all of them. So the next 3 topics I want to talk about is actually going to be the Cliff Notes version of these 3 conversations, because I actually have full scale videos out there on YouTube where we talk about how much does it cost to brand your business, how to brand your business on a budget and for free. Now I will share in the videos on how to brand your business for free and on a budget. I have 13 different ways to do so for each. 13 is my lucky number. It's part of my brand. So very rarely will you see a 5 or 10 or 12 list. It's 13. That's my number, part of my brand. I hope it's lucky. You tell me in the comments below, is 13 a good number or bad number? And while you're down there, be sure to like and subscribe to this channel. But anyway, I'll give you 13 free ways to brand, 13 budget ways to brand, but I have a couple other ideas for you today. So these are not the list in the other videos. You've got these fresh for you. So let's talk about how much does it cost to brand your business. So it depends, a little to a lot. I know those aren't good answers. However, there is so many different ways that we can go about branding our business. We can spend a couple bucks on business cards, or we can spend thousands of dollars on business cards. I mean, those would be some pretty nice business cards, but I've seen it happen. We can spend, a couple bucks on a website, or even do it ourselves, or we can pay thousands or tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars for the website. So unfortunately, how much does it cost to brand my business? It depends. What I think is important is us to make good decisions when we're looking at our budget. If we've got $1,000 to do an advertisement, do we want to try and go into like these 3 little things once, or do I want to try and do one ad to the same area 3 times? We want some repetition. I think sometimes people think, well, I put out a flyer, I did a mailing, I did a Facebook ad. Once is enough, but oftentimes you're going to need that repetition. People are going to need to see you over and over and over again before they're willing to make the decision to purchase from you. So, we want to spend our marketing dollars smartly. So how do we brand our business cheap? How do we brand it on a budget? I think Facebook ads can be powerful when done correctly. Now, too often when it comes to Facebook ads, people will just say, hey, boss, let's see what people do. And that's really not the right way to do it. You really want to get into the Facebook marketplace, do the ads, and follow the right system. And it's really important that we pick the right people. Who is going to be our target audience? And I think that when it comes to branding, that's really important for us to keep in mind. Who is our target audience? Who's going to be seeing this? Who's going to be reacting to this? We want to make sure that we have the right people picked. Because I can market to everybody that's on Facebook and spend millions and get nothing, or I can spend, a very small, 10, 20, 30, 40 bucks. But if I'm targeted at just a handful of the right people, I may be able to begin to see results. Now, Facebook's ad is not one of my specialties. However, when I'm in need of help with my Facebook ads, there's Jenn Possick. She is the ads maven. She actually has a do-it-yourself, or she does it for you way to look at it, but she's always hosting free. I'll put her information in the description below, and if you're on the lookout, you can check her out for some help with your Facebook ads. Now, another thing to brand on a budget, and I didn't say how big your budget is, but I think it's important for us to think about our real estate, our address. Sometimes if we're tucked into a neighborhood or an office park in the back, yeah, the rent's going to be a lot less expensive. However, if we were on the street and people were driving by and seeing our sign every day, would that give us a stronger brand? Would people see it and think of it? And so as you're beginning to make decisions on, placement, where is your business going to be? Where are your advertisements going to be? Don't go super, super cheap. If you could spend a little bit more for a bigger impact, we have to look on our return on our investment. If the space we're looking for, we're never going to have people coming through, there's no foot traffic, then maybe we go on the cheap. However, if we want people driving by and seeing our sign every single day, then maybe it's worth it to spend a little bit more. Yes, we're spending a little bit more, but we're getting a higher return on our investment. And so sometimes I think when it comes to budget, it's not just about what's the money being spent, it's about the return on our investment. Now, if you're looking for a zero investment and you want a return, let's talk about some free ways to brand your business. We mentioned Facebook ads in the previous conversation, but I think we've got to talk about social media. I think social media can be phenomenal when it comes to helping you grow your business. And there's lots of different ways that you can do it for free. Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok, all of those, you can put yourself out there. Now, you do want to have engaging posts. You do want to share things of interest. And you don't always want to do the exact same post. So I just got done with Jennifer Darling's 5-day LinkedIn challenge, and I never knew about flip books. And I did my very first flip book called Why Ain't You Getting Referrals? See, there's that Southern that I'm throwing in. Shared it, and on average, I'm getting 100 views within the first day or so. And I had 1,200 views within the first couple of hours by sharing this different media, this different content. So maybe you want to check out, okay, what can I share and do different? Facebook Lives and LinkedIn Lives don't cost you anything. And it's a way to get yourself out there. Now, you want to be consistent in your brand. Again, you want to share the important messages, but it's a great way to help brand your business for free. Oh, and one last thing on social media. Another thing that I like to put out there on social media is horn toots. So a horn toot, if we're in person live, somebody says, how are you doing? And you share, hey, I'm excited because, or this is going great, etc. Really powerful way to share what's going well in your world without bragging. Now, I've got a whole video on how to horn toot so that it's not bragging, it's not blowing your own horn. We got to do it the right way. But we want to share, okay, here's what's going well. And so I could share, here's a success for a client, here's an upcoming event. And so I'm promoting my business, I'm branding my business without being pushy and salesy. Another way that you can really create a strong brand, and happens to be one of my favorite, and it's free, are those success stories, those testimonials. On Google, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on all of these different places, we have the opportunity to leave reviews, recommendations for people. And I think it's key for us to be able to share, here's how we've helped our clients. And so you want to ask your clients for those testimonials and get them over to your social media, to Google, to Yelp, because I think that people look at reviews as one of the strongest components when they're determining, do I want to purchase from you or not? My mother-in-law is always like, ooh, Tiffanie, I heard about this place. Ooh, Tiffanie, I heard about this place. Do you want to go to these restaurants? And so I'm always going onto Google and saying, what do the reviews say? Because just because one person said it was great doesn't mean that it's always great or that we have the same taste. And so if I go and it's 4 stars or better, I'm like, oh, totally fine. If I go and it's like 2.5 stars, I'm like, we ain't going there. No. The reviews aren't good enough. And so I think that the more reviews that you can have, because if I look at you and you've got 5 reviews versus 10 reviews, I'd like the 10. 10 versus 20, you get where I'm going here. When I go onto Amazon and I look and something has 9,000, reviews, 4.5 stars, I feel very comfortable purchasing that. When it's got, if it's on Amazon, it's got 2, I ain't buying it. 2 new, 2, So utilize those reviews to help you brand your business. So hopefully now you have a better idea of how to create your brand. Be you, be authentic to you. Create a brand that the entire team can be a part of. Be consistent with that brand and share as much and as often as possible. Happy networking, y'all.